Do you want to learn more kawaii illustration techniques? Watch this video because I'm sharing another kawaii illustration style that you'll want to try. Hi, welcome back to Haley K Studio. I'm Haley and I like to make Procreate tutorials for beginners. And in today's video, I'm sharing another technique, and that is creating a kawaii style mood grid. Mood grids are really fun to make because you can practice and showcase kawaii illustration expressions. Mood grids typically take one character and they are drawn expressing different moods or emotions. And today I'm taking the little white bear that I drew in my last video and showing his different weekend moods. So like all of us, he's gonna go through the ups and downs of weekend excitement, and then he's going to be sad when it's over. As a bonus, I'll only be using the default brushes that come standard with Procreate, so you don't have to make any purchases to recreate this. And this video is part of my Learn Kawaii illustration series, and I'll link my previous video here where I show how to illustrate a kawaii Polaroid featuring this cute little white bear. So be sure to subscribe as more Learn Kawaii illustration videos go live so you don't miss anything. But until then, let's make this cute moods grid. So like always, I am going to start with a square canvas, and I've set mine to 2048 pixels by 2048 pixels, and it is set to 300 dpi. To start, I just want to kind of lay out where I want to have my little bears, and then I'll sketch out what he's going to look like. So how this will be laid out is I'll have a title up here, and then I'll have a 3x2 grid, so 3 going across and 2 going down, so just 6 versions of this little bear and his little moods he's gonna feel over the weekend. And to complete my sketch, I'm just using a brown color, and I am using the Narinder pencil that is in the brush library section sketching, and I'll use that to complete my entire sketch. My title will go here, and then I'll space out my bears fairly evenly in a grid that looks like that. So I'm just going to turn down the opacity on that one. So I'm going to start sketching out my little bear and the different moods he's going to have. So now my sketch is done and I'm ready to start adding some color. And to start, I'm going to choose a background color, and I'm going to use the same color palette that I used to create my kawaii Polaroid from the previous video, but my main colors are going to be slightly different than the ones that I chose for the Polaroid illustration. So first I'll choose a background color, and I'll do that by going to the background color section of my layer stack. And here in the color palette, I'm going to choose the yellow as my background. And now I'm ready to start the lining of my image. I want to keep my sketch layer on the very top, so I'm going to move that to the top, and I'm going to turn it down a little bit so I can see through it a little bit easier. Now I'm ready to start my lining of my image. And it is just going to be the lining of these little bears. So what I would like to do to maintain some continuity in how this bear appears as far as his shape and body composition, I'm going to draw like his head and his body once and use it multiple times. Like I'll use the first head that I draw on each of these images, and then his body, I'll reuse it on this one, and this one, because he's standing kind of the same, and then his arms are just slightly different. So now I'm going to start with just the head, and I've got this dark brown chosen. You can barely see it on the screen. I am going to choose from the inking library the dry ink brush, and I've saved a couple of favorites for this illustration. So I have it set to 5%, and I have one set to 20%. And I'm going to use the 5% for the lining and the 20% for the color filling. So let's start off with just the 5% size and draw this little bear's head. So now his little head is complete, so I'm going to merge all of those layers. I drew the ear once and I used it twice, so those were in separate layers. And now I have the basic shape of his head done. So now I want to duplicate that 5 more times and then just share it across my screen. So now we've got some image continuity. We don't have to worry about recreating the same looking head 6 times. We can just draw it once and use it for each of these little bears. And now I'm going to do the same thing with his the basic form of his body on this image. So this is my main one here. So I will add a layer below that. And just so I can keep everything kind of organized, I am going to group these 2 layers and then select that layer and draw his body. So his little body's done, so I will flatten those layers together. Again, I just drew one side of his body once and then duplicated it and mirrored it to the other side so it's symmetrical. For the other bears that I want to use this for, it's this one and that one. And I'll just make a copy of it and save it for later. So I'll just put it outside my group here and just put it on the bottom and turn that off. So now it's just waiting there for when I complete the rest of the illustration of the little bears that use that same body. Now let's go back to this first bear and finish him up because he's got some arms that he's missing. So I will reopen his group here and add a new layer because there's some overlap with his head and I want to delete the part that overlaps. I can delete the part of his head that overlaps here. And I can even delete a little bit of the body that goes up so that it blends in with his arm a little better. So now I want to complete his face. So I'm going to add a new layer to the very top of my group here and start with his first eye, and I'm just going to duplicate that and mirror it on the other side and then add another layer to complete the rest of his face. He's going to have a little coloration around his muzzle, but I'm not going to line that. I'm just going to use a different color than his fur color. So there's our first little bear done, and I'm going to go to his group and just collapse it down to keep it out of the way. And so now I'll just go through and finish the lining of my other bears, not forgetting that I already have the body drawn for a couple of these little guys down here. So now the lining of our bears is complete. I was grouping all of the layers basically just to keep everybody organized. Now that all of my lining is complete, I'm just going to pinch all of them together so that it is one flat lining layer and everybody's together there. And now we're ready to color fill our little bears. I will add a new layer below my lining layer, and I will again start with this first guy, and I'm going to use this light white cream for his fur, and I'm going to keep all of those in one single layer. So every time I use the white for his fur, I'll just use it for all of the other ones too, so we can keep all of that organized. So from my layer stack, I will choose my first layer and then go to my dry ink brush again, and I will switch to the 20% size that I favorited over here, and I'll just begin to do my color fill. So that was pretty quick. We just did a quick color fill of the white for the white fur. And now for the other coloration of his fur, I've added a new layer, and I will switch back to the 5% since I want to be a little bit more precise on this next part. I'm first going to choose the pink. I'm going to add some pink to his ears and his tongue. And briefly, I'll switch back to the 20%, and we're going to give him some little rosy cheeks. And now he's really coming to life. I just want to add another color to his fur, so I'm going to add a layer below that pink layer, but above the white layer. And I am going to choose this brown, this lighter brown, and add the brown coloration around his muzzle, and then a little bit on his belly. So now that part of the coloring is done, and I'm just going to turn off my sketch to see how he's looking, and he's looking pretty cute. He definitely looks like he's missing his beard there, so we'll make sure we repeat that for the rest of our versions of this bear. So I'm not going to be adding additional layers during this next coloring process. I'm just going to stick to my white layer, my brown layer, and my pink layer for the rest of the bears. So now our color fill is done, except for one more thing that I want to add, and I was mistaken. I want to add one more color, so I'm going to add one more layer, and that's to this guy, because this guy is super sad that the weekend is over. We can imagine that this is Sunday evening, and he's got the Sunday night blues, so we are going to add one more layer. I'm going to choose this sort of light teal blue just to fill his little tears, to make sure everybody knows he is absolutely devastated. There, he is super sad the weekend is over. Okay, so now all of our color fill is done. I'm going to turn off my bear sketch, but I did have my spatial planning sketch turned off. I'm going to turn that back on because now we have to add some words to this, and the first one we want to add is a title to this image, and it's going to say weekend moods. So I have my dark brown chosen, and I want to add some text. So I will go to the actions tab, and I will tap on add text, and that will automatically create a new layer to the very top. And I'm going to change this to weekend moods, and then I will just scooch that to the very top, and we can center it more a little bit later. But I don't totally love this font, so I am going to select all of that, and then the font shows up right there, and you can easily just tap it there. I'm going to use a font called Jelly Roll. I made this font, and you can purchase this font from my Etsy shop, and I'll link it down below, but you can use whatever font you like. I just like this one because it's nice and round and soft, and it's very cute, and I feel like it fits the kawaii aesthetic. And I'm going to scooch that back down because it kind of wiggled away once the font was changed. And the next thing I want to do is change this to all caps. So I will just toggle on this TT button right here. And so now the whole word is capitalized, and I want to upsize it a little bit, and I'll scooch it across so that we don't lose it. And it's just a little too big. And there, I'm liking that right there. We've just made some color continuity because our title here is the same color as our lining layer. With that text box selected, I want to select the Move and Transform tool and use the center line to guide where I want my title to go. And that will work best if you select your text box with the Move and Transform tool. So with the mood grid, you want to describe each of the moods that your little character is expressing. So to do that, we'll add a text box below each of these bears to indicate that. And again, I will just go to Actions and then Add Text. It'll automatically use the same font that we had used originally. And now I will just type in this first one. I'm going to say this little guy is happy. And I want this a little bit smaller, so I will just select all the text again, tap on the font information, scooch this up so I can see it, and I just want it a little bit smaller, and I'm happy with the size there. It says the word happy. We're all happy. Now that this text box has the font formatting that I want, I'm just going to duplicate it and copy it over, and then change the text. So I want this one to be joyful, because you can be happy and you can be joyful. Then I will duplicate it again and move it over here. And then the blue lines will indicate that it's in line with your other text boxes. And so I will select all of that again. And this guy's obviously sleepy. And now I'll just repeat this process for the three below. So now each of our bears is labeled with the type of mood that he's having. So we've got happy, joyful, sleepy, excited, anxious, and then devastated. You know how we all get Sunday night, we're super sad the weekend's over. He's expressing that very much. And since it was a big emotion, it had a big name, I had to just size it down a little bit and maneuver it just a little bit. So that word is a little bit smaller than the rest of them, and that's okay. Now all of that is complete and I can turn off all of my sketch layers and my spatial planning layers. That's looking pretty cute. I love how this turned out. I'm definitely posting this to my Instagram and I will link that down below. And please do tag me in your creations, since I'd love to see any of your recreations of any of these kawaii illustrations that I'm sharing. So now that you've learned how to make a kawaii mood grid, you'll definitely want to learn the other styles so you can add more variety to your kawaii illustrations. You can watch all the videos in this series by clicking on the link to my playlist that I have got on the screen and down below. And don't forget to click subscribe so you can watch all of my upcoming videos as they go live. And please do hit that like button, since it'll help other people that want to learn more about this drawing style find this video too. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!